Hey guys, so right now we're going to do the second part of the watercolor color wheel assignment, and that's to create a spectrum. Now, a spectrum is almost like a rainbow. So what we're going to do is we'll obviously end up leaving a couple colors out, but we're going to start on one side and we're going to move to the other, and we're going to try to transition our colors smoothly from one side to the other. So to do this effectively, I'm still using the same palette I was using before. I don't really need a lot of colors, I just need 3. So I'm going to take my red and I'm going to start at one side and just put a little bit of red down on this side. Okay, again, I'm using washes to do this, and I'm going to keep stroking the brushes vertically like this to give a smoother color. Now I can mix it with water if it starts to go dry brush like you're seeing here, and then it'll loosen it up a bit, and again it'll make it a little smoother. And I want to get this red color in the washy sense, so I don't want the saturation to be crazy. It should be dark red over here, but it should fade out as we get closer to the center, because this is where I'm going to start mixing. So I don't want the red to be as strong by the time I get over here. Okay, and then going like this, using that vertical stroke, is going to help me pull the pigment over without adding too much on. This is just me smoothing it out a bit. Now, the next color I'm working with is yellow. Yellow is the lightest color, so we have to give it a good amount of space. I'm putting yellow in the center of the spectrum. Good saturation, so pretty bold yellow. And I'm using that vertical. And what I'm going to do is, instead of dragging it like I did the red, I'm going to spread it out. So this yellow is going to move into the red area, and we should create an orange color about right here, where the red and yellow meet. Keep in mind too, this is our first layer. Just like our watercolor color wheel, we might have to add multiple layers. We just want to be careful at this point where we're bringing the yellow and the red together. We don't want to drag the red all the way into the yellow, because it's very easy to cover up yellow. So I'm just using some clean water to make sure that my yellow saturation is good at the bottom, and then I'm going to pull it in the opposite direction as well. Okay, and I'm going to pull it a pretty decent way because blue is super strong, so we want to make sure that the yellow can stand up to the blue. Okay, there we go. Okay, last color that we're going to put on here is the blue. So obviously we're going to be missing certain parts of the spectrum. So the violet part, the red's not going to run all the way over, but that's okay, because we're just practicing mixing colors together on the page. Okay, so when we're looking at blue, I'm using phthalo blue here, which is pretty bright. Blue is very strong, so I don't need a lot of it. The saturation again should be really dark here at the end. Then I'm going to just add water to bring them together. Okay, and now right here is where we start to get a little dicey, because the blue is hitting the yellow. And like I said, it's pretty easy for the blue to overpower the yellow. You can see what's happening right here. So what I want to do is use mostly water, very little actual blue pigment, and I'm using a circular motion to bring the blue and the yellow together. Okay, so now that I've created this little area, we see we've got a pretty solid base of green happening right here where my brush is moving right now. Now what I want to do to make sure that this bright line doesn't exist is I'm going to put more yellow onto my brush just to wash. I'm not going straight into the pigment. And then I'm going to use that yellow to smooth out that line and bring them back